With Devil's Club, then we can start to talk about people. This essence is for the person who doesn't feel like there's enough room for them on the planet. And again, this is the perspective usually from the part that's outside looking in. And that part knows how big it is. In the beginning, the perspective could be, how could I possibly fit into that little tiny baby body? You know, can't even walk, completely helpless. So I'll just wait a while. And then the realization, oh, I have 7 brothers and sisters, and a lot of them got here before I did. So I'm making myself small to fit into the family. There's not enough room for me in the bed, in the room, at the dinner table. It's a pretty common feeling. So this essence is helping people find their way in, say, okay, the perspective might be that there's not enough room for me, but I'm just going to come in anyway. And I'm going to come into my heart first, and then I'm going to establish myself here in my heart. And then I'm slowly going to expand the amount of space around me. And the more I can expand that heart space around me, the more of me that can come into that space. And then the realization comes that actually my frequency is completely unique. And that there's no other person on the planet that's vibrating exactly my vibration. So I have all the room in the world. But I have to show up, I have to be present, I have to come in, and I have to radiate that heart energy out. And then I feel good, I feel comfortable, I feel safe. And then, of course, I will be attracting other people who are doing the same thing. So Devil's Club is for those who they have a tentative, use the word tentative connection with the physical body, a tentative connection with where they live. Something happens and they're gone. We can say it's a good essence for shy people, but also people who are just afraid to take up space. Now, of course, the underlying theme here, the underlying issue is fear. I don't want to come in, I don't want to incarnate more into my family or more into this situation because I'm afraid. Now, you'll also notice the spiral of this flower. So it's helping you find your way down. Call it spiraling in. So this has many, many applications. Learning disabilities, communication problems. So the shy boy who never speaks up in class, he could be a genius, but he's not able to say anything. People that are afraid if they allow themselves to come into the earth, they will be contaminated. So it's about establishing oneself, having security, and then to be able to continually expand that out. Then you see that person, they're really, really, really present. They're allowing more of their eternal self to be present. So the applications, again, are myriad, they're numerous. Have you ever felt, oh, my voice is not being heard in this family, it's not being heard in this job? I seem to be taken for granted by people around me. I'm walking on the street and people are bumping into me, they don't even know I'm there. I gave it to one boy, it was one of these children that would go into a room and just create chaos and just, learning disabilities, not doing well in school. Turns out he's super sensitive. He walks into the room where the essences are and he goes over and he's picking the essences out, we'd hand the bottle to him and he would hold it and we handed the Devil's Club and he held it for a minute and he went, I'm here now. So he got it. So he knew exactly what it was for before we even told him. See? So that super high sensitivity, that ability to understand these things on a level that many of us cannot, but unable to take up space in the family. And protection, what you can't see in the picture is how these grow, which I'll discuss a little bit here. So at Devil's Club, the parent plant is about, sometimes can grow up to 5 meters tall. And the leaves are like, one leaf is about that big. And underside of the leaves, completely covered with stickers, and the stems and the central trunk of the plant completely covered with thorns. So when you come to a Devil's Club growing in Alaska, you do not walk through it, you walk around it. You respect it. If you try to walk through it, it'll take the shirt off your back. It'll rip the clothes off your back. No other plants grow in the space that the Devil's Club is growing. They're like, it's okay, we'll grow over here, no problem. And I spent 2.5 hours one time sitting in a group of Devil's Club. I crawled in very carefully, so I was inside the family. I had never felt safer in my life. And I looked up at one point, and I saw that all of the parent plant leaves were completely, perfectly joined together, so there was nothing coming through. They were seamlessly joined together. And all the children, all the young plants, were completely protected by the parent plants. It was really nice. That's when I really got it. And within all of this protection and the thorns and everything is this really fragile flowering stem. If you go up and shake that, the flowers fly off. So it's a symbol, it's symbolic of I can come to the earth, I can flower, I can live to my potential, I have the protection to do that, I have the strength to do that.